I guess we'll just start streaming. But I need to be able to hear.
Hi, friends. Hearing is overrated.
Okay, we're streaming. What's our delay? Is it like a 30-second delay?
Probably.
Maybe I did a longer latency. I did change.
I mean, you can go up to like 5 minutes or something.
Okay, here we go. We're streaming. What's our delay? Is it like a 30-second delay?
Probably.
That's almost a full minute.
Maybe I did a longer latency. I did change.
I mean, you can go up to like 5 minutes or something.
Oh, volume is working out pretty decently.
What's our delay?
Is that max
Like a
volume?
30-second delay.
Oh, now we're.
That's almost a full minute.
Maybe I did a longer latency.
We're just listening.
I did change.
Go up to like 5 minutes.
Man, now it's just cycling.
Volume is working.
Now it's just infinite.
What's our delay?
Is that max
Like a
volume?
30-second delay. Oh,
This
now
is called feedback. Okay. It's almost a full minute. Okay.
That's good.
I think everyone has reasonable volume. We are streaming. Adam is in frame. No one else is in frame. We'll change that once we get a studio that we'll rent out. And we'll sit in a cool table and we'll have those mics.
Once we buy a studio.
We'll buy a studio. We'll have the infamous studio. It'll be great.
It'll be in Alaska.
The infamous studio teller.
We'll all fly down.
You'll
once a year, once a
private
week.
you'll
Yeah.
private jet me to your studio.
Private Uber.
Private Uber. If I'm feeling unsafe, I'll get a woman Uber. So I'll feel safe. They won't. That's kind of unfortunate for them. But I'll feel safe.
Yeah,
And
well, what are you
that's the
gonna do?
important part. Feel safe. That's what I'm going to do. Feel very secure. Anyways, it's not my job to introduce.
Okay,
But-
if we're ready.
Oh, okay. Yeah, everything's ready. We're on the
Well-
last two chapters.
We are. Welcome, everyone, to the Infamous Storyteller podcast. I am your host, the Infamous Storyteller, and I'm joined by my friends, Joseph, Brandon, and Shayla.
Hi.
And we will. Yes.
Sorry.
And we will be covering the last two
Not that good a
chapters
friend, Brandon.
of My Little Cemetery. And then we'll take a break because I'm still writing another story.
Going
And then
on.
when we get to another story, we'll come back.
Yeah, going on hiatus.
Um,
All of you watchers gonna be so
You're just
disappointed.
heartbroken.
Gonna be so disappointed. All the huge fan base that we've accrued at this point. So sad. Stay strong.
Anyway.
Everyone coming back in 10 years will be like, dude,
What are they
I'm
talking
so glad
about?
I didn't have to wait.
Or I'm so glad that their new stuff is much better quality. Ugh,
I wasn't going to say it, but
I'll say it.
Anyway, welcome. We will now begin. Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take it away. Chapter 27, Theme Park. The rides were all Halloween themed, though I doubted that's how they started out. A haunted ship rocked back and forth. It had clearly started out fun and tropical, but was now attempting a spooky ghost ship, flaking paint revealing the tropical colors beneath. I walked past kiosks selling Halloween-themed trinkets and costumes scattered all around sorts of second-hand rides, with vendors selling caramel apples, pies, and the like. The park was giving off the right ambience despite the tacky, refaced rides. The large hay bales and old farm buildings in the back gave the theme park a nice touch of authenticity I was not expecting. Actors in cheap costumes were scattered through the park as well. Witches, werewolves, vampires, scarecrows, directed passerbys, and accepted tickets and stolen goods. Sold goods. Sorry.
that'd be exciting.
There's no E in sold, but yeah. I found my way to a cider shop and sat down in an empty stall, ordering a glass along with a piece of raspberry pie. Classic. A break was nice after successfully transferring the creature to my basement. So the seasonal theme park was indeed real. Monsters were not all that realistic. Nothing here was. A fine place to take the family, I suppose. Foreshadowing. The pie was good. Cider fresh. Calm smell of fall rested around me. Cut fields brought the honey golden harvest moon. I sat content watching it slowly move in the night sky, backdropped by faraway stars. A group. That's not how you spell group. A group. A group of high schoolers tore by laughing on their way to the haunted corn maze. A family bobbed for apples. A toddler laughed at his dad every time his face came out with a different funny expression. What brings you out of your dark woods? Red slipped into a seat next to me. Her pale skin was contrasted by dark cherry red lipstick, as was her trademark. She wore a black witch's hat, carrot orange flannel, jeans, and cowboy boots. She fit the place well.
Too well.
Not bad for a
Woman.
cousin-in-law. Shifting in my worn leather coat, I took a long sip from my cider. I'm just imagining like a full trench coat. That's
No,
not
you know
he's
what?
wearing.
I actually imagined a typical,
You want to buy a watch?
almost
Just a-
motorcycle leather coat, and like
Just a
really
long
worn
leather
in
trench
blood.
coat with a fedora. You're looking good, Red.
Milady.
See?
All right, you're wearing it out.
Sure,
They
sure,
didn't wear
maybe.
leather trench coats.
No, they didn't. You're right. She gave me that sly smile of hers. Why do I feel like there's tension where there really shouldn't be? Ignoring my compliment.
They
You're not
always
ship
have
it.
tension. Don't forget their history.
You're not here for the apple cider. It's good. Nice and crisp. Have you tried it? This is just a noir chapter. It feels so noir right now. Have
I
you
love
tried
it. I love it.
Not yet. I'll get you a glass. Tooch. He didn't say that. I stood up and walked over to the counter. I put out my cigarette. In the short time it took to get the glass, I scanned an open
He
room.
smokes?
No, he doesn't. I just said that because it's a noir episode. In the short time it took to get the glass, I scanned the open room and the patrons mingling in the park beyond. Nothing seemed off. Coming back with a tall plastic cup, I settled down across from Red, not returning to my seat next to her. I don't bite, she said as I slid the glass over to her. What are you doing here, Red? She leaned back in her chair, sipping her straw. I'm having fun, enjoying an evening out with some of my friends, and who do I see sitting all alone, completely out of place? You're not on a date, are you? No. Dejected. I took another bite of pie. Should me and my friends head out? I don't want them caught up in whatever you have going on. You and your friend should be fine. The spookiest thing I've seen all night is you. Thanks. She touched her witch's hat. I was trying really hard. She paused, studying me as I ate my last bite of pie. You really came here alone? Yes. And there's nothing here? Nothing in particular, no. Well, I won't take up the rest of your night. She went to slip out of her seat, but paused. She was certainly up to something. Do you want to join me? She asked. That sly smile had returned. What do you mean? You know, walk around the park, look at things, appear to be normal. She said it like what I was doing wasn't normal. It wasn't, Anthony. You're a grown adult at a theme park by yourself. That's
Or, like,
that's not great. That's not great for you, buddy.
Compared to what he normally does, this is normal.
Well, for him, yes.
This is the normalest thing he's done the entire book. Give the man some grace. He's trying.
Fair enough. She stood up. I got up following. She was my cousin, after all. That you didn't say that. Might as well see what she was up to. We walked through the park, Red leading, me watching. Why did you say it that way? Do you find the creature
Because
that
you
dreaded...
read it that way.
Red leading, me watching, my cousin. Did you find the creature that tried to kill Grace? She asked, as we weaved through the crowd. I glanced at her, taking my scanning eyes off the people around us. I did. It was some sort of worm. She glanced up at me, green eyes holding mine from beneath the brim of her witch's hat. She was slashed and stabbed by iron. Doesn't sound like the thing worms would do. I smiled, remembering the bulging black eye that peered out for me from the inside of the sun-bleached skull. They weren't regular worms. No. I don't think they were after her in particular, if that's what you're asking. Seems a strange coincidence. Not everyone likes her. I looked back to the crowd. Grace was looking for trouble in the valley. She found it. I don't know how intelligent the creature I killed was, but she stepped into its hunting ground. I don't think it knew what to do with her when she didn't start decomposing. Smith was pretty frustrated after finding her, Red remarked. So was I. We turned. It seemed she was leading me to the Ferris wheel on the far side of the park, away from the front in the parking lot. Its old teacup buckets were redesigned into jack-o'-lanterns. Redesigned? I'm just orange teacups with jack-o'-lantern faces.
Yes.
Classic. Was it worth the risk? Was looking for it worth the risk? She asked. Being that close to sinew? Having it catch your scent? Your pennies? She wasn't looking at me when she asked the question. She was looking in her wallet for spare change. She knew that I lost my scent earlier that year. Last time she had wanted to see my reaction. I stopped. We were almost at the Ferris wheel. Are you saying the Ferris wheel or the Ferris wheel?
The Ferris wheel. Just like how it's written.
You know, the wheel at the fair? The Ferris wheel.
Yeah, the fair wheel. You spin it, and whoever it lands on, they get chopped in half.
And that's
It's
fair.
The fair wheel.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that don't make any sense.
Get in the comments below to spell Ferris wheel. Thanks. Where is Ferris wheel? Where is Ferris Bueller in his day
I stopped. We were almost at the Ferris wheel.
She was looking at turning Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel, Ferris wheel, short time.
I stopped.
It worked
we
out.
were almost at the Ferris wheel.
Ah, yeah, there we go.
That's where
Something
you're
was
at.
starting to feel off. I couldn't quite place my finger on it. There was a hollowness in my chest that wasn't there in the cider shop. I looked at Red. She was looking at the turning Ferris wheel. Do you want to? She asked, nodding at the ride. I glanced around, trying to find whatever it was that was bothering me. It's a crisp night out, isn't it? It is, she smiled, waiting for my response. I looked back at her. Sure. She turned and I followed her to the short line. My anxiety was starting to grow. There's not a quick way off this creaky thing. Why was I so nervous? I looked at Red. She was a beautiful woman. And my cousin. The starch thought hit me. I had definitely killed more beautiful women than gone on dates with them. Yeah, your kill-to-date ratio's not great, bud.
Honestly,
This is an episode from you.
This time is different. I won't murder this one. I have feelings for this one. Definitely won't get bored and murder again. That's the premise of you, by the way. I hate that his name is Joe.
No, it is.
Yeah, I hate it. The starch thought hit me.
Sorry, Joe.
I definitely killed more beautiful women than gone on dates with them. It's rough, buddy.
potatoes.
Dark thought.
True, they all had been monsters, at least as far as I knew. I didn't know what Red was up to, but if she was up to anything at all. I was still looking at her when the man asked for our tickets. I dug into my pocket and pulled out my gun. And pulled out the universal pass for two. We climbed into an orange-painted teacup, and I forced myself to look any direction other than Red's. She had settled back on our side to the Ferris wheel. You tried a different way of spelling it. Good job. You're getting closer. I believe in you. And was slowly sipping on her cider,
Thanks.
smiling from the corner of her lips as we slowly rose into the air. Have you ever heard of sipping cider from a straw? No.
No.
No, he hadn't.
She does not say that.
She did not say that. To all the
I
listeners,
reached in my pocket and grabbed
Pulled
my
out my gu-
cross.
grabbed my cross. She hissed, recoiling to the back of the corner, her eyes glowing red. That didn't happen. To the front of the fairgrounds, fast movement caught my eye as I watched as Smith's big truck aggressively pulled out of the parking lot. Ah, she had brought me here so her friends could leave in peace without the risk of running into me. I understood now, though the understanding didn't stop the unease in my gut. Didn't want me to run into Smith again? I asked, nodding at the dissipating taillights. Red smiled. I don't know what you're talking about. I thought we were here enjoying this pleasant ride. She gestured with her cup at the people below. Huh. I sat back. You're not really good at this kind of thing. Red sounded amused as we slowly began rising for a second rotation. Good at what? She looked more amused. What do you do in your off time when you're not hunting? Doesn't seem like you go on dates. I smiled. This was a date, wasn't it? With my cousin. No dates. We rose 5 more feet. A soft echo drifted from the west. That's what the pit in my stomach was responding to. I waited 5 more feet and the echo repeated. Faint, low, and almost dead. Well, what do you do? Red asked again. I sharpen knives and load bullets. This would be our last trip around the Ferris wheel. I needed to go. So you're always working? That explains a lot. She muttered the last part. Yes, in fact, I got a whiff of something as we've been going around. I'm gonna have to leave when we reach the bottom. What is it? She swirled the ice in her cider cup. You're not just making up something, are you? No, this has been... I didn't know the right word. Different. She raised an eyebrow. Glad to bring you some variety. We had risen another 5 feet, and the dark echo silently called again. Hunger. Famished hunger. It's coming for me. I didn't realize I said it out loud. What is? Red sipped the last bit of apple cider from her cup. Her eyes flicked over the vast ground beneath us. My change in mood seemed to have put her a little on edge. Morgan. Don't worry, it's not close, but I need to go.
Morgan?
Who's Morgan? I know who Morgan
Who's
is.
Morgan Waverly, Brandon?
Who's Morgan Waverly? Someone hasn't been paying attention as I've been reading crisp and clear and enunciating all my words.
And definitely not ad-libbing.
Definitely
from
not
time to time.
ad-libbing.
And even spelling
There has
some
been-
of them.
He loves his cousin very well, excuse you.
There has been an absurd amount of
That
ad-libbing.
We're not actually cousins.
No, I'm pretty sure they're cousins. Pretty sure they're cousins. If his cousin is her sister... Anyways.
Then they're adopted.
Dang, wait. Morgan.
Morgan Waverly.
Morgan Waverly. Don't worry, it's not close, but I need to go. Red looked over at me, expressionless for the first time this evening. It's like she didn't remember who Morgan Waverly was. Cringe. Stepping off the Ferris wheel, Red discarded her cup in the trash, like a good human being, which she wasn't. Huh. She looked at me, went to say something, but stopped herself, thinking it over. We stood there for a moment. I need to go. I turned and began walking away. I didn't look back. I was just about to my truck when I caught a glimpse of pink, glimmering eyes from the thick woods that surrounded the carnival. Oh no, it's a callback. I started walking towards them, but as I approached, they vanished to the sound of rustling brush. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through the contacts. Red didn't pick up, so I called Grace. She answered on the second buzz. I was wondering when you're going to call. Those things, which were after Lauren and Amber. I just saw one in the woods. You need to call your daughter and tell her to find me in the parking lot. I'll call you back. Grace hung up. I waited, hand in my jacket, fingers around my 1911. Grace called back a minute later. Amber's safe. How did she know she was at the carnival? We ran into each other. These things are still after her. You're gonna need to figure a solution without me. The sinew's after me. My hands are full. There's a long pause from her side of the line. Are you sure? You left it in Utah. They couldn't have picked up your scent from this far away. It's coming for me, Grace. Something's changed. I don't know what. But I know it's coming for me, and it's only a few days from finding me. We can get you on another plane. There's the Glade in Ireland. You could... If it can track me across the states, then who say it can't track me in Europe? That's a lot of dead people in between. If you don't hear from me in 3 weeks, you're not going to. I hung up my phone and climbed in my truck. She tried calling me back several times, but my mind was made up. My plan would either work, or it wouldn't. I wanted more time, but after recognizing the sinew's call in the mountains of Utah and Idaho, I understood. I'd rather force the encounter and die. I wouldn't take the feeling of dread that had been my constant companion over these last 3 years after Victor's death. And that's the end of chapter 27.
Is he really going to resolve this in a chapter? There's absolutely no way.
Yes, he's going to fall in love, get married, kill the sinew, and be back in time for afternoon tea. And he has a pet crab.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. I don't drink. All right, Brandon. Of all the stuff that was real and not ad-libbed, what did you think so far?
Good.
Good. Cool. Okay, moving on. Great comments.
Good. Mm-hmm.
All right. Chapter 28. New hunting grounds. The echoes were slowly getting stronger. I checked on the monster in the basement. It was somewhere in the bottom of the murky pool. Not enough time to hook up the motors to pull the pool's gate open. I'd have to do it by hand. But right now I needed to prep my safe room behind the pool. I looked over at the small 5-foot by 5-foot concrete bunker with my home fabricated half-inch steel door. It'd be uncomfortable, but better than the alternative. The door would keep the thing in the pool out, but I was not so certain about the sinew. I went back to my cabin, grabbing my essentials. Safe room stocked, locks on the creature's cage unclasped, incense in my breast pocket, and I was ready as I could be. The echoes coming from the sinew were getting stronger. Give it an hour or so and the creature should be here. I settled down on my porch swing and waited as the echo slowly called to me. I don't know how long I sat there, swinging back and forth, lost in the depths of Sinew Mountain, but the light was fading. I was going to have to make a choice. Did I open the gate before going to bed, or did I wait to time the opening as it arrived, but risk falling to sleep as I waited? It should have been here hours ago. My phone started buzzing. There was time for one last phone call, I supposed. The caller ID was Grace. Probably should have called my dad. I would tell Grace goodbye, then come to the decision about when to open the pool's gate. Okay.
It's here, Anthony.
The panic was visceral.
How do we kill it? You need to tell us how to kill it. It's after Amber.
Slow down, Grace. Take your guns. Shoot him in the face. Their bodies are resilient, but they still need a brain to function.
Not the Fey Hounds. Morgan, the Rocky Mountain Horror.
She was almost yelling. Where are you? I asked.
The Glade. But you can't.
I'm on my way.
No, we can handle it. Just tell me how.
All I have is an idea, Grace. Get everyone in your vault. I'm assuming that you've seen it?
Amber has. It's after Amber. She should be here soon. I've been chasing her for the last 3 hours. It's been chasing her for the last 3 hours.
When I get there, you'll have a small window to get your people out. It'll take about an hour or two to eat me. After my attempts to kill it won't work. That's plenty of time to put miles between you and it.
Aaron, I promised you.
I'm on my way. Click. I put my phone back in my pocket. There was only one reason it'd be after Red. She had gone back to the mountain to find her father. As I pulled out of my garage, I saw my shop door open wide, ready for me to hide. Miss Sheldon came to mind. I shouldn't leave that thing down there. I quickly got out, walked down the steps, then rapped on the gate encasing the pool. The massive crustacean erupted from the dirty water. It scratched against the grating, trying to stick its arm-sized pincers through the tight space in an attempt to grab me. I pointed my pistol and put a few rounds in its head and back as it quickly scurried to the bottom. The pool was quickly turning blue. So much for my plan. I walked back up the stairs and padlocked the door to the basement shut. I see what you were going to do there, Anthony. Bummer.
He was
What
going
was
to
he
use
gonna
it to
do?
cure cancer.
He was going to use it to cure cancer. You're correct, Brandon. You win the points.
Because that sounds like a... What crab is that?
The cancer crab.
Horseshoe crab.
He was going to give the sinew cancer. That's how it works.
Unless Morgan doesn't already have cancer.
Ooh, that's the secret. Stop spoiling the story for everybody else, Brandon.
You spoiled it last time we streamed.
It's super cancer. That's true. The echo coming the echo coming from the sinew was absolutely numbing. As I pulled on the worn dirt driveway that led to the glade. 5 minutes of drifting over loose road, and I slid into a stop in the center courtyard, next to a large ornate fountain. The 4-story manor building sat elegant and seemingly empty. The stonework cottages scattered throughout the woods around were just as empty. I cracked my door. The terrible, nostalgic smell of sizzled skin filled the airless clearing. I dug into my pocket and pulled out the cigar like nub. I bit into the end, spitting out the bitter, starchy butt. Flicking out my Zippo, I lit the other end of the incense. Getting out of the truck, I walked through the dark to the big ornate doors of the manor house, every moment anticipating the appearance of the sinew. Pushing through the ornate doors, I walked through the beautiful building, making my way to the vault. I'd only been there once, but remembered the way to the basement well enough. Down the deep spiraled staircase into a large arched ceiling ballroom full of ornate furniture, there on the far side, placed a 3-foot stone, which was the massive vault door. The drapes which were usually in front were pulled to one side in a crumpled mess. I rapped on the thick door. 5 long seconds, the door started clicking, then swung open, revealing its inhabitants. 24 or so men and women of various ages looked out from where they stood, resolutely in the small vault. Grace stood at the front, Smith taking up all the space right behind her. Amber was not in the room. Big eyes looked at me from behind Smith's left elbow. Lauren. I knew it. Her existence shocked me for a moment.
Her parents?
Her parents. I said appearance. I pronounced it
No, you
wrong, though.
didn't.
I said appearance, not appearance. Her appearance, her
Yeah.
existence, shocked me for a moment.
But you said parent.
But I wasn't here to think about her. No, I was here to consider dating my cousin, but I don't have to worry about it anymore. Lauren was
You
here.
didn't even get the
No, I was here to escort these people to their vehicles, then die. I didn't even have to ad-lib that. Rudy bayed. Rudy bayed, glad to see me from where he sat next to Lauren's feet. You need to go. It's after her. It might already have her.
Oh
Grace
yeah.
was
Where's
having-
the dog been this whole time?
Grace was having a hard time keeping it together. Tears were dripping down her face. Smith, I addressed the big man. Get everyone in their cars and on the way. As fast as you can. On the dash to my truck is a chewed-up wad that looks like the end of a cigar. I held up the slowly smoldering poultice. Take it to the lab and see if you can identify the components. If you can replicate it, it'll weaken the sinew. Is it gonna follow us? He asked. Has it tasted any of your flesh? I looked around the small room. They were shaking heads, and Smith growled, No. But I should go with you. Help you save Amber. Nope. You take your group of lost toys and get the hell out of here. Amber's either dead or she can get away when I call the thing in. It's not far. I didn't give him any time to protest. Grace, I need Victor's sword. Everyone out. Grace had pulled herself together. I stepped aside, realizing I was probably preventing any forward movement by standing in the doorway. Smith, get everyone to the cars. There was mumbling and muttering, long glances my way, but Grace's people quickly slipped past, walking up and out of the ballroom. 3 of them I recognized as missed targets. The other, a tall, spindly man, I'd also thought was dead. Goes to show you can't be certain unless you bury him yourself. Grace was opening a case in the back, pulling out the elegant saber. She was careful to only hold it by the silk cloth it had been resting on the ornate box. She was careful to only hold it by the silk cloth it had been resting on in the ornate box. I walked over and peered into the box. 2 sets of gloves laid in the bottom. 1 large pair made from worn leather and weaved steel. The second just like it, but slightly smaller and pristine. Disregarding tradition, I pulled the pristine gloves on and snatched the sword out of the Grace's hands. We should wait for Victor. We should wait for Victor to give it to you. This isn't right, she was muttering. Victor's dead. I went to leave, but Grace stopped me, grabbing my arm. Amber, I said. I know. She pulled the small box out of a case as well and retrieved the ash pot and clay. We need to do the right. It doesn't matter, I protested. We locked eyes after a moment of unspoken words. I relinquished, quickly kneeling. I don't know if I was trying to buy a little more time or if I was finally accepting, as was Grace Victor's death. The rite did not take long. It felt more like a preparation for my body for death than the calling of a thane. But I let her. Rite completed, we shared a moment of silence before I bolted up the stairs and out the back of the building. The smell of sizzling flesh was stronger coming from the back of the manor. Down the hill was a gazebo. In the center, a small fire flickered. A large, pale creature stood, actively pulling a strip of flesh from a hanging body tied by their feet to the gazebo's frame. In the darkness, I couldn't make out who the figure was. I didn't want to. The sinew turned, sniffing the air, rising to its full 12 or so feet. Enlarged, gaunt face turning towards me, firelight flickering and illuminating its pale face. Victor's dry voice called to me from dry, starched lips. Aaron, delicious Aaron. The thing that was once Victor studied me. Leaving the swaying body, lazily, smoothly began walking up the hill towards me. All the time whispering my name. It stopped 30 or so yards away. Flicking the latch that secured the saber, I discarded the sheath. I darted forward. Gosh darn it. I darted forward, but the sinew was too fast. I know. This is such an intense moment, I ruined it. But the sinew was too fast. He kept sweeping quickly around me, watching, waiting for me, all but dead incense to breathe out its last embers. As the burning touched my fingers, I brought the last bit of the nub to my lips and took in a deep, terrible breath. A breath barely comparable to that of burning tires. I flicked the ash out of my fingers towards the monster. It didn't hesitate, lunging. It easily avoided the sword in my hand and slapped me, sending me barreling downhill. I flung the sword away, terrified it might nick my skin as I rolled. Some smoke escaped my lips. Moments later, I was swung by my ankles, peering into those changed gray-pink eyes. Good grief, having a bad day. As it moved to tie my feet to the bottom of the gazebo, I blew the rancid smoke right into its face. With a wretched screech, it let go. I fell, coughing and sputtering to the ground, desperate to breathe clean air. Aaron, why? Stay away, boy. It started moaning. Its face seemed to begin to pull back together, resembling more and more Victor's unmistakable scowl. I didn't hesitate but lunged, wrapping my arms around the creature's neck. As I choked it, its limbs seemed to pull back together. "Please, Anthony, please." Victor's voice cracked as it tried to thrash me off its back, bashing me into the stone pavers. As its face started to truly resemble Victor's, the thrashing slowed, and his eyes held mine. Light seemed to enter them, as if Victor was actually in there somewhere. I never found out, though. Fingers curling around a loose stone from the firing, I bashed it in the side of the sinew's head. I didn't stop until brain matter soaked my fingers all the way up to my elbow. Standing, the body beneath me limp, head crushed to bits no longer recognizable. Only his pale paper-white skin revealed who the creature had once been. I continued coughing, spitting up mucus and trace amounts of blood. About the time the coughing subsided, the terrible, unbearable, torturous stench of the burning nub was wearing off and was being replaced by the savory scent of well-seasoned skin. Much like the smell of a freshly roasted turkey, the smell was slowly growing stronger and stronger. I was so hungry. So very hungry. The body beneath me seemed to sizzle as the salivating fumes wafted up my nose. Trembling, I looked down at the body. Hot steam was pouring from the bare skin. That had once been Victor. I wouldn't eat Victor. I turned, trying to walk away, but I couldn't get 3 steps before the smell hit me with such force I stopped. Thoughts in the winds of the most incredible smell. The body below me was starting to smolder, skin stretching thin as it started to lightly brown as the body cooked from the inside out. "Anthony!" The voice broke me partly from my trance. I turned from where I from where I just hung the delicious crisping corpse. Soon it'd be perfectly crisp and ready to strip. The pale girl, Lauren, was walking down the hill, someone big following her. "Damn, that smells good." Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, it smells.
"Damn, that smells good. I have a feeling that's gonna get worse. Get away from it, Anthony," the greedy voice behind the girl demanded. Something moaned on my left. "Smith, get Amber and go," Lauren said. "It's getting stronger. It could be too much for you." "Come here, Anthony," Lauren beckoned. "We need you to get back to the manor. We need you to help Amber." I didn't want to leave my feast. I looked back at the crisping body, then back to her. "Anthony, I know it smells good, but it will kill you. Come here now." She pointed to her feet. No. I started muttering, turning away from the strange girl, intent on consuming the crisp skin. Something plowed into me, and I found myself smashed against the ground. The greedy man stood over me. I tried fighting, hitting, kicking, biting, but my wild movements prevented nothing. Dragging me over to the pavilion pole, he handcuffed my hands behind me. He tapped out a cigarette, lighting one for himself, then tried to give me one. I wouldn't let him put the nasty thing in my mouth and ruin the savory scent. He popped it in his own mouth and turned to Lauren. "Damn, why does it smell so good?" He pointed to my hanging male. "I will kill him." I tore, trying to get free, the cuffs cutting into my wrists. "I think we need to burn it," Lauren was saying as Smith cut the other body down, carefully wrapping it in his big jacket. "I need to leave. If not, I think I'm going to take a bite out of the disgusting thing," Smith was saying, gesturing to the hanging corpse. "Take Amber. I can burn the creature's body." The girl was rambling, insanely. "Are you sure?" Smith was asking, looking at the body a little longingly. Greedily. I tore at my wrist, trying to get to it first, but they held me firm. "It doesn't bother me," she continued to ramble. "Smells just as good as Anthony on his tea. I'll be fine. But you need to leave before it gets to you." She touched his arm, reaching in his breast pocket, pulling out another cigarette. Lighting it, she wafted it under the big man's nose just before placing it on his lips. Dang. "Fine." He took a long, deep drag from the cigarette, then shook his head. "I need to get the hell out of here." With the wrapped body cradled in his arms, he began jogging back up the hill. Lauren walked over and crouched in front of me. You get it now, how it feels? It smells so good, doesn't it? If I let you go, would you walk up the hill? She looked at me. She tapped out a cigarette and lit it, waving it under my nose. The bitter smoke fought the intoxicating scent of the finally fully crisp body and clarity mixed with insanity. You need it. No, take the gun out of my holster and put the cap in my head. Wait, don't touch the gun. I'll walk up the hill. I'll do it. I'll do it. I lied, muttering. Did you eat any of it? She asked, nodding to my swinging meal. My crispy KFC combo. No, I'm going to. Let me go. The cigarette was not working so well. My meal swayed, taunting me. I need it, I began mumbling. Lauren didn't reach for the 1911 under my arm. Instead, she studied the dead corpse, walking around it, evaluating every inch. I just knew she was going to start feasting. But to my surprise and fury, she soon left, walking off into the backwoods. She returned with branches and started piling them on the opposite side of the gazebo right across from me. After she had a very big brush pile, she started tossing the firewood from the gazebo's rack on top. She was going to eat all of it in front of me, roasted over the fire. I lunged forward, trying to break free, but nothing worked. Hands wet with blood, and I didn't feel them. I settled down, giving up. I'd just have to cut off one of my hands. Lauren saw me trying to retrieve the pocket knife from my jeans' front pocket. When she reached for it, I bit her shoulder. She let out a soft cry, but wrestled the knife out of my pocket and threw it into the darkness. I tried getting a better bite of her neck, but she slipped away the moment my jaws released on her shoulder. She looked at me, betrayed, then started walking back up the hill. I watched the body swing slowly back and forth, forgetting about Lauren, trying without success to pull my hands through the cuffs. Lauren returned with a gas can. She cut the large body down and dragged it over a large pile of branches and split logs. Somehow she managed to get on top of the pile. Then she dumped gas all over it. Carefully, she flicked a match. The realization overtook me. She was wasting it. I writhed, trying to get free. I needed to get in the fire. Just one bite, that's all I needed. My cursing and pleaded faded into ineligible muttering. My muttering was not eligible.
Eligible?
Illegible.
Illegible.
Illegible is reading.
Unintelligible. Not understandable.
Oh. Unintelligible. Yeah, that's what I was
Illegible
looking for.
muttering.
Thank you.
As the fire
Illegible.
burned, she continued to toss split logs and brush from the surrounding woods. The smell was so penetrating I gulped freely at the air and tried to eat it, but I could not quench my hunger. As the body was consumed, the smell and sensation started to fade. I spat and coughed, my head slowly clearing. What the hell are you doing? I croaked after some time. The thing got me. You need to shoot me in the head. My brain was starting to make sense of how the Grendel worked. The one that had found me in the mountains had been gray, not a pale white. Lauren walked over. Good. You're getting back to yourself. Can you still smell it? A little, I admitted. Well, let's see how you feel after the smell's gone. She walked away again, going to get more brush. Wait, no! Lauren, wait! I'm hungry, Lauren! He didn't say that. An hour later, the scent was almost gone. It still lingered, holding to my clothing. Score. But the fire was no longer producing it. I can smell it over your blood. Can you still smell it? Lauren asked, walking over, kneeling down in front of me. Hardly at all. Wink. My wrist and skin around them hurt terribly, fingers sticky with drying blood. How are you feeling? She asked, looking at me. Better. It smelled good, didn't it? She looked at me, expression serious. It did, I admitted slowly. Well, Anthony, I don't think you have to die for it. She reached out, touching the side of my face. Goodbye, Aaron. You're Grace's problem now. Dang it! Name called and left? Bummer. She stood up and walked back up the hill into the darkness. I slowly slumped back. I'd done it. I killed the sinew. Nothing special. Victor had done the same before me. The big malformed bones resting in the cave in Sinew Mountain bore testament to that. If only he knew the consequences of killing it. The sun had risen. I woke, straightening up to the sound of someone walking down the hill. It was Grace. She walked around me to the handcuffs. Lauren said your wrists were a mess. But this is ridiculous. She knelt and unlocked the cuffs. I brought my hands around, taking in the deep oozing cuts. I stood up, gently inspecting the wounds, and was surprised that my hands still worked. Grace was looking at the ash pile. You did it. Her voice was soft. I looked at her, but she wouldn't look at me. She was transfixed at the pile of ash and smoldering embers. Sure. Sure? She glanced over. I killed the creature, but Lauren killed the sickness. Grace nodded, her attention back to the fire. Amber wishes to apologize for drawing it back here. She's alive? I asked. Hurt, but alive. She wanted to find her dad and return to the mountain. It followed her back here, Grace continued. I had figured as much. Tell her there's nothing to apologize for, just that I'm sorry she found him. Grace couldn't bring herself to look at me. I need to see Ned. Can I have you gather the ashes together? I should take the remains to my cemetery. Do you think that's wise? Grace looked at the ash pile. What are you going to do with them? I asked, my mind reverting back to business. I didn't want to think about the implications of the night before. I don't know, she admitted. A tear dripped off her right cheek. If there are any bones left, have Lauren gather them together and put them in a propane burner. Then place all the ashes in steel barrels. I'll be back for them after I see Ned. There's a place aside from the others I can bury Victor. He didn't belong with the others. Grace shook her head. Don't come back. I'll drop the ashes off at your place. My people would like to settle back into their homes. Your presence is disruptive. Copy. I turned, walking up the hill. Grace stayed, eyes dripping as she stared at the ash pile. I carefully picked up Victor's saber and resheathed it, leaving it on the front entrance for Grace to place back in the safe. I climbed into my truck, wrapping my wrists with gauze, then began the long drive back to Ned's veterinary practice. I needed to get patched up. Now that the Sinew was no longer out west, my territory had just doubled, and no one had hunted in it in a long time. And that's the end of the book.
The end.
The end.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a pretty good twist, Adam.
And you thought I couldn't wrap it up in the last chapter.
Yeah, you wrapped it up pretty darn good.
No, but then you did.
Then you did.
Does
Having
that
it not
count?
be the same sinew, like, made that work.
Yeah, right.
Right.
It started off as
Who's Morgan Waverly?
yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, you
Yeah.
dropped
Well, there's
that
three
in the later
Sinews
half
in
of the book. You did drop that later in the book, and we're like, oh, this is Morgan Waverly. And then we're like, wait, no, this is not, in fact, Morgan Waverly. It was good.
Yeah, you guys figured it out in the last episode, so
Well, Adam, you did tell me who it was,
You were
like,
super
while
smart.
you were writing the book. Way back.
did I?
Yeah.
Well, Brandon figured it out.
Brandon.
Didn't you, Brandon?
Brandon.
I did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
before Joe fully
Next
spoiled
word,
it,
maybe?
my suspicion was immediately piqued that whoever kills it becomes it. How, I didn't know, but eating it is the twist I wasn't expecting.
Which is
Yeah,
actually
it's pretty metal, isn't it?
Yeah,
pretty metal.
That was pretty friggin' metal.
that's so gross. But it makes so much sense. I hate how consistent that is. I was like, oh yeah, that's totally how that works. I
It's-
hate that. But
Well,
like,
the thing is,
yeah.
it's so much like the like it's not an exact copy. The Sinew is a creation of your own, but you did take some notes from like the Wendigo. Like that's something.
Yeah, Wendigo.
Wendigo has a similar
There's a
setup.
bunch of creatures like that are terrifying, and I
That-
just took the best
yeah.
parts.
They just Wendigo, they self-perpetuate by cannibalism. Like that's how you become one. So
So this story, I think my brain has had something like this in it for a long time because we did in Library Club of all places. I don't know if Joe you remember this, but our Miss Kim read us this little horror story of
It's the one
basically a
with the
Wendigo
uncle.
horror story.
Is it the uncle
It was the uncle,
that
or
locks
I
her
don't remember what it was.
that locks her niece in the house every night? And yeah,
No,
I know.
no, not that one. It was a winter camp one where like
Oh, okay.
like he was like a Native American tribe thing, if I remember correctly. The point is, one guy ate everybody, and then he ate himself and became,
Yeah.
a creature. So, anyway,
I do remember that one.
yeah, there you go. That's the Rocky Mountain Horror. Yeah, it is a lot like a Wendigo, but
So I guess
It's a good twist.
my
That's
question
that's a good monster twist.
is
isn't that great?
so Anthony's ability to smell death, is that a direct cause from the sinew, or is that something else that just happened? Or is
It's
that
a terrible plot point that I couldn't get rid of.
it's a terrible plot point that you
Oh.
could
The more I wrote this book, the less that felt like it should even be a thing. But yeah, that was the original thought, that it was because of his run-in with this creature that he was able to sense death. And that's why
Yeah,
he
no,
can't
that doesn't
sleep.
make sense.
It's like but it doesn't actually work. It's like, oh, it ate part of me, so now I can
No.
feel dead things. Like it doesn't work at all.
No, it's like it ate. It's more like it ate part of me, and now I feel hungry around raw steaks. Like that. That would follow.
But I'd written basically the whole book with him having that ability to feel dead people.
So pulling,
So-
yeah, and there's a lot of parts where where that
Where
was
it's
a
like
part of
important.
yeah, where
Yeah,
that was some
yeah.
key parts of the
Well,
plot.
and you could still have him have that ability, but that's just something that.
Yeah, it
would
has
be
to
like,
come from a different.
I mean, his
thing.
dad did it. But his dad did stuff like that for years, and so it's easy. It's like dad got cursed, or he was around a lot of magical residue, or just whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
And then
it's
it's
just
just,
It could be
happened.
I don't know, maybe a Thane thing too. Once you get so far into becoming a
Yeah.
Thane, you can sense the dead. I don't know. If I write a second book, I can figure it out. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's actually a horror story.
eh.
Yeah,
I'm
for
gonna.
the monsters.
It's a light horror story. It would work so much better if it were. Well,
It's more
I
of
think
a.
the monster's really great.
It's more of a suspense
But-
Yeah.
thriller, I'd say.
It's-
because
yeah,
It's more of a
it's-
thriller.
'cause
Yeah.
horror
It is a
when
thriller, but
I mean, in a horror, he would have eaten it.
Yeah.
In a horror, he eats
Yeah.
it. Like.
yeah, that's true.
in horror he would have eaten it, and either Lauren would have
Killed everyone.
put a block
And
put
killed
a
Yeah,
everyone
the
or
last
would've
the
capped
last
him in the
bit
head.
would be like, it's been 3 years since I had that tiny bite from the finger, and I can feel myself changing. Right?
right,
You
or
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or you end with a headline about a town being entirely wiped out and nobody knowing how it happened. Like.
My thought
Go ahead,
process, or not
Theme
thought
park
process,
director found
take-
flayed alive.
No, take this as a compliment. I would love to see like that final chapter ish, animated like a Love, Death, and Robots
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
don't
But
know, Love, Death,
with
and
that-
Robots.
with the
I
dark
couldn't watch
twist.
it, but yeah.
I know what you're talking
With the
about.
dark twist.
So
at the end.
Love, Death, and
Yeah.
Robots does whatever they need to tell the story they want to tell, and some of the stuff they release is really dark.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
Very
dark.
basically it's
I
like
want to
it's-
see Meat Canyon videos.
okay, that's
No,
fair.
this is
No, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's totally fair. That's
it is
you don't
dark.
you don't
But what I'm
but it's different. So
I understand.
I get what
The
you're
difference
saying.
is like you're watching this one episode of
Like
Love, Death, and Robots, and you're just feeling complete and utter unease the
Yeah.
entire time. Here's a perfect
Yeah.
example of a very acceptable one to tell. Are we recording
Yeah.
still?
Yeah,
and
we're
you
recording.
could do just that
Oh,
last
yeah.
chapter.
Do we
You
want
could
to
drop 'em into
end
that.
stream
You could
now,
just do
talk
that
more,
last chapter.
leave the listeners out?
Yeah,
Yeah, are we
I-
done yet? Sorry, guys.
Well, we're done now, guys.
We're done. It's not
Like,
are we
if
done
you
yet?
think it
We
should
are
be a
done
Death
yet.
and Robot
That was a lot of fun.
leave
I
in the
hope you all
comments.
enjoyed it.
I hope some of you
I
watched
enjoyed
it.
Fun to write.
I hope somebody watched it and liked it. I liked it. If you didn't like
I
listening
liked
to it,
It'll be,
there's links to the book
it'll
Try
be
reading.
empty,
Read it.
Brandy.
for free. It's
Yeah.
there for free. You could just read it.
Well, for free right now.
Sure.
If you wait, like
To all
10
my
years.
deaf
You
listeners.
wait too long.
Yeah,
All my deaf listeners.
get the book.
All
Okay.
right. Bye, y'all. Have a
Bye.
great life.
We're done yet.
See ya.